Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Lacy Bay Designs. On this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make this cute dress for a baby and a coat or a jacket. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, so these are the materials I'll be using for the tutorials: a ruler, scissors, a satin fabric, tape measure, an African print, and a zip. Yeah. So I'll open the fabric into two and then fold it onto the right side. So as you can see, the bust measurement for my baby is 22 inches and then waist 21 inches. So bust 22 inches divided by 4 will give me 5.5 plus 2 inches as seam allowance is 7.5. So as you can see, I marked out 7.5, and then since it's a strap dress, I will take out 3 inches. So from the shoulder down to the chest, I will take out 3 inches, and then come down from shoulder to waist is 10 inches plus 1 inch allowance, making 11 inches. So I marked to the waist 11 inches and marked 11 inches there at the other side. So I'll then connect the point with my ruler and then I'll cut out. That will be for the front. So this is what I have after cutting out. I then came down from the chest downwards 1.5, and then I extended it. That's for the neckline. I extended it 2.5. Okay, so I then drew a curve meeting the 1.5. Afterwards, at the shoulder part, I then left an interval of 1 inch and then sloped the armhole about 2.5 downwards. So I then cut out both the back and then the front neckline, and then I cut out the armhole too. So this is what I have. Okay, so the next thing to do is to cut out the flare. I'll then fold the fabric into 4. So this is the first fold and then the second fold, making it 4 folds. So the waist is 21 inches. So let's use 22 inches divided by 4 will give me 5.5. So I marked out the 5.5. So that is where the 5.5 ends. So from the tip downwards, I had 4.5, and the other side I had 4 inches. So I decided to share the 0.5 onto 8. So 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. And then dress length is 21 inches. So I'll then take off from the top measurement, that's from the shoulder downwards is to the waist is 10 inches. So 21 minus 10 inches will give me 11 inches. So that means I'm supposed to cut the skirt 11 inches. Okay, since it's a double flare as in one flare is blue and the other one is African print. Okay, so I'll be measuring 8 inches. I will take away 3 inches. That will be for the blue flare. Yes, I want the blue flare to exceed 3 inches. So I'll take off 3 inches from the 11 inches left, remaining 8 inches. So as you can see, I am marking the skirt length 8 inches plus 1 inch allowance, making 9 inches. So I'll take the 9 inches all round and then cut out. Afterwards, I'll cut out the blue flare in addition. Okay, I'll then cut out and cut the blue flare. I will fold it this way just into 2 and then open up the African print into 2 and then make it exceed 3 inches. Both the down and the side all will be exceeding 3 inches. Okay, so I marked out the 3 inches. I took the tape measure all round 3 inches. I was supposed to make it 3.5, so that similar ones will take like 0.5 inches, but it doesn't affect it. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and notch the center for both fabric and then the satin. So I divided the fabrics into two. That will be for the back. So this is the front fabric, and then this is the lining pieces, that the satin fabric. I'll then place the right side of each together like what I have done, and then sew the armhole, the chest, and then the other armhole. This is the back. I'll do the same thing for the back, and afterwards I'll divide the back into two. Okay, but before that, I'll create my strips. I'll create a strip. The length of about 6 inches is actually 5 inches. So I created a strip of about 6 inches. I will sew have an inch at both sides, remaining 5 inches. So this is it. I'll then fold it in and then top stitch. So as you can see, it's 6 inches long and about 2 inches wide. So this is what I had after creating the strip. Okay, so this is the front. I'll then place the strip like this. I'll place it onto the right side of the African print and place the lining onto it, and sew half an inch all round. Great, so this is what I have after sewing the armhole and then the chest line. This is what I have. The next thing to do is to go ahead and insert the strip into the back and then sew along. I placed the strip onto it, like the right side facing it, and then sewed along. Afterwards, I divided the back into two. So this is what I have. After dividing into two, I then sewed half an inch and then turned to the right side. So this is what I have. I'll then go ahead and then shape it according to my client's measurement: bust 22 and then waist 21. I'm going to sew down the lines marked after shaping. So this is what I have after sewing along and then doing my knitting. So I took it to the knitting machine and then knitted it. The next thing to do is to work on the flare and the flare part. So this is what we have. I'll then open up the flare, both the blue and the African print. I'll open up into two this way, and then the African print onto it. But because I wanted the waist area to be knitted by the flare itself, I then placed the right side of the dress onto the African print and then finished the waistline with the blue flare. So as you can see, I took out the blue flare and then placed the middle point to the kente's middle point. Okay, so since the kente is a bit wider, the waist is a bit wider than the top's waist, I then pleated along to fit in perfectly. So this is the excess left. I'll pleat it along to fit in the waist. So after pinning down, I will then place the right side. I'll place the wrong side of the flare onto the wrong side of the top this way. I will also pleat along to fit the waist perfectly. Afterwards, I will sew half an inch downwards and then bring it out to the right side. I'll flip it out like this so that it knits the waist. Great, so this is what I have after sewing down half an inch. This is what I had. Okay, the next thing to do is to go ahead and then finish the hem area. I'll then take it to the knitting machine and then knitting the hem area for both the African print and then the blue fabric, the satin fabric. Afterwards, I'll fold it in 1/4 of an inch and sew along. I'll then go ahead and then indicate my zip line. I'll bring the tape measure down for about 12 inches. Fix my zip like this. So it's about 12. The zip is about 14 inches, but I will bring it down 12 inches. Afterwards, I will sew the rest downwards to secure the back. Okay, great. So this is what I have after neatening the hem and then finishing by sewing. I then fixed the zip. Then our dress is almost ready. After doing this, the next thing to do is to go ahead and then work on our coat or jacket. Okay, so you can try this for your 3 years girl, 4 years girl, 5 years girl, any age at all. Even an older person can wear it, but just that the bust will be a princess that or a bustier that. So I'm about to work on the jacket. Okay, so from shoulder to waist is 10 inches, but I wouldn't let the jacket get to the waist. It's above the waist, so I made it from shoulder to waist 9 inches, like 8 inches here. So seam allowances added, or sewing allowances added, making 9 inches. So as you can see, the bust measurement is 22 inches. Divided by 4 will give me 5.5 plus 1 inch allowance, making 6.5. So the width is 6.5 and the length is 9 inches. So I cut out and then cut the same thing for the back without leaving any zip allowance. There wouldn't be any zip at the back. So I then cut out the same thing for the back, like what I am doing. So the width and the length of the neckline is 2.5 by 2.5. I then marked out the 2.5 by 2.5. And then the armhole, extension of the armhole is 2.5. And then allowance, half an inch, making 3 inches. So I marked out 3 inches. And then brought the tape measure down 5 inches. Okay, then I draw the armhole curve. Okay, so for the back, I will divide the front neckline into 2 and then cut out the back. And then I will slope the shoulder line about half an inch. Okay, and then cut out the armhole curve. Okay, that's for both the front and then the back. After working on both, I will then shape the neckline for the front. So I'll separate the back pieces from the front pieces and then cut out. So as you can see, the hem of the top, I slanted it, I curved it, and then I will slope or slant the front neckline like what I have done. Great. I will cut the same thing on the lining pieces. Yes, so this is what I have. Okay, after cutting the same thing on the lining pieces, the next thing to do is to cut out the sleeves. I actually didn't measure the sleeves. By using my eye to calculate, I think the width is 6 inches, like 5.5. Yeah, it's around 5 to 5.5. But the sleeve length is 12 inches. It's actually 11 inches, but I made it 12 inches because of seam allowances. So I then cut out the armhole part. And then cut out the wrist area. So I folded it into 4. After opening, I'll be getting 2 sleeves. So the next thing to do is to work on the lining pieces and the African print. So I'll then fold the lining, I will then open the lining pieces like this and then place the front onto it and then sew the shoulder line, and also do the same thing on the African print. I then sewed the side and side half an inch downwards because we added 1 inch as seam allowance. I did the same thing for the kente fabric. Okay, so I sewed the side and side, and then the shoulder part. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then shorten the lining pieces about 1/2 inch, so that after sewing the lining doesn't exceed the fabric. So I shorten it about 1/2 inch. After shortening, the next thing I did was to place the right side of each together and then sew all round 1/2 inch. So this is the right side of the African print and the right side of the lining pieces. I'll take it to the machine and sew all round. Great, so this is what I have after sewing all round. I'll then create a notch all round to enable me turn to the right side, looking very flexible, so that when I press it, the lines can come out nicely. Great, after notching all round, the next thing to do is to turn to the right side. So as you can see, I turned to the right side through the armhole part. Okay. The next thing to do is to work on the sleeves part. I'll double fold the edge of the sleeves and sew 1/2 inch downwards. Afterwards, I will sew the side and side of the sleeves. Okay, so the side and side of the sleeves, I measured around arm for my 3 years girl. So the around arm is 8 inches, so it's actually 4 inches when it's folded into 2. So this is what I have. What I will do is to place or to fix in the sleeves and then sew 1/2 inch all round. I'll do the same thing for the other side. Great, so this is what I have after sewing 1/2 inch all round. I then knitting it. Then our jacket is ready. Okay, so this is what I have. I'll then take it to the ironing board to press it to make it more neater. Please, at this point, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do so and then press the notification bell to notify you anytime I upload any video. And then this is the dress in addition. Okay, so this is it after ironing. The weather is becoming cold, so you can get this for your child or children to rock it. After sewing, you can tag me on social media, either ECB Designs or African Kids Wear. See you all in our next video.